We've been talking about the promises that are due to believers because of the gift of God. Those promises are abundant. They are perfect. He said he'd keep you in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on him. That inward righteousness is a gift from God that you must have. That childlike spirit. Matthew 18:3, I'll read it again, and says, verily I say unto you, except you be converted. Converted means changed. Except you be changed and become as little children, you shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. I didn't say that. This is God's word in Matthew 18:3, that we must be converted. Our hearts, our minds, be ye transformed. We have to go through that change. You know, that metamorphosis where the caterpillar crawls and inches up the tree and finds this one particular branch, and he attaches himself to it, and he hangs there, and within a few days that chrysalis, his body began to go through this metamorphosis, and it changes, and it gets hard and brittle, and inside there's something going on. Is there something going on in you? Is there a change occurring in you, and you are wondering what's going on? Maybe it's that time. Maybe it's that time for a change. That time where the inner righteousness is going to begin to manifest, where that childlike spirit it's going to begin to flow, and that repentance is going to fill your soul. Luke 13:2 says, and Jesus answering and said unto them, suppose ye that these Gentiles were sinners above all the Galatians, because they suffered these things. I tell you, nay, but except ye repent, you shall all likewise perish. Repent, be renewed, turn around, do a 360, do a 180, whatever you got to do, but do it, and let that peace, that strength, like a river flow through you. Isaiah 48:18 says, oh, that thou hadst hearkened to my commandments, then had thy peace been as a river, and thy righteousness as the wave of the sea. My brothers and sisters, Christ stands with an outstretched arm. Whatever you need, he's able to give. Whatever you have been through, the brokenness, he is able to heal a broken heart. So all of those that are standing far off, come to the table today. Come and sit with that motley crew of misfits and understand that God changed them, and he can also change you. Nothing is too hard for God. And remember, there's a way out of your mess. And it's JESUS. Be encouraged.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey, folks, Gerald Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Rome, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 866 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
Hi, guys. We're going to have Sheriff Barker on today. He couldn't make it. Last week was his actual scheduled day, but he was at the Anderson County Fair Senior Day 1 week ago today. That said, I'm going to give you an opportunity. I'll open the phones up here real quick, and if I don't get a call, what I'm going to do is I'm going to replay Monday's show, the first segment of Queener's Corner, David's program that he has here, because he had City Manager Roger Houck here sharing a bunch of information about what's going on. So I'll give you the opportunity first. If you have things you want to talk about, I'll open the phone lines, give you that. If I don't get calls, I'm going to go ahead and proceed on with a repeat of Monday's program because there was just a lot of great information in it. So I'm going to come back here. Let me see in exactly 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, I'll come back here and I'll take your calls, or I'll come back here and we'll air a repeat of Monday's program with David Queener and City Manager Roger Houck.
Hey, y'all, it's Elise from Rusty Wash Chevrolet in Clinton. Can you believe we've been open for 10 years? Come celebrate all month long with deals like these. This month, you can get up to $10,000 off select new Chevrolets with rates as low as 0%. And remember, all new Chevys come with Rusty's exclusive 200,000-mile warranty. So together, let's drive to the 10-year anniversary at Rusty Wash Chevrolet, or visit us online at rustywashchevrolet.com, where Chevys cost less. See dealer for details.
The toughest challenges you'll face are finding a reliable team, clearing tough terrain, and keeping your land pristine. That's right, keeping your land pristine. Now that you know, why not trust S&R Forestry Mulching? Veteran-owned and operated, licensed and insured. They specialize in clearing those hard-to-reach spots, roadsides, ravines, riverbanks.
Call S&R Forestry Mulching, 865-441-4642, and let them handle the tough stuff for you. S&R Forestry Mulching, clearing the way the right way. 865-441-4642. H&H Body Shop is a lot more than just a body shop. Here's Darla, co-owner.
We do mechanical maintenance, and we sell tires, and we can do any mechanical thing on a car that a person might go to several different places to do. Because several years ago, we realized people was in a hurry to get their car out of the shop so they could go get their brakes done, and we have the capability of doing all those things. We have all the state-of-the-art equipment to do things. So we have computerized alignment, and we have a mechanic that has credentials to work on just about any car.
So whether your car is torn up or just needs a tune-up, you only need H&H Body Shop. H&H Body Shop on North Main Street in Clinton. Call 457-9734. 457-9734. H&H Body Shop. There since 1960. There when you need them. Here's Dr. Mark Smith, Physician's Associate from Way to Go Weight Loss Centers and Anti-Aging Medical Spa, talking about the new shot they're now offering that will help you lose weight.
In general, I've been doing weight loss for about 17 years, and I've never seen anything like this. Studies actually also show a 26% reduction in heart attack, 26% reduction in stroke in patients that are on this medication. You get the all-around effect of preventative medicine and weight loss all at one time.
Hi, my name is Sean Hatfield. After years of struggling with my diet and my health, I had hit 300 pounds and was ready for a change. When I gave him a call, Dr. Mark and his staff were amazing. And since starting Way to Go Weight Loss, I have lost over 100 pounds and my quality of life has completely changed. I no longer have high blood pressure or diabetes, and I was actually able to complete the 16-mile Mount LeConte hike with my family last spring. And I just want to tell everyone that if you are struggling with your weight, give Way to Go Weight Loss a call.
Call 865-219-8650. 865-219-8650. Way to Go Weight Loss and Anti-Aging Medical Spa. All right, guys, give you plenty of time here to call in. I'll tell you what we're going to do. As I said, Monday was the third Monday, and the third Monday of the month is Queener's Corner. Our friend David Queener, longtime employee of the city of Clinton with the police department, spent decades there. City councilman, was on the city school board. So David's got a lot of information to share. And he comes on the third Monday and does that. And this time he brought a guest with him. He brought Mr. Kidwell with him last month. This month he brought city manager Roger Houck with him. That said, lots of stuff going on in the city of Clinton. If you've been down Market Street, Main Street, you see all the things that are going on. City manager was here to explain it. A lot of folks didn't get to hear it, asked me if we could post it or what have you, and it's on BBB TV and our site. You can find it as well on our Facebook page. But I thought I'd just go ahead and re-air it today so you can hear a lot of the stuff that's going on, the timelines of when it will be finished, and just some things that are coming down the road that the city of Clinton's working on. So from Monday, this is Ask Your Neighbor, David Queener, Queener's Corner with city manager Roger Houck. Everybody, it is Ask Your Neighbor. Today is Monday. It's the third Monday of the month. It's Queener's Corner. David Queener is in here with us this morning. Good morning, Mr. David Queener. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Meredith. How we doing this morning, buddy?
I'm good. I was wondering if you was going to come dragging in here after the fair.
Well, I dragged in here, but after the fair, the best 6 days of summer, everybody wanted to change it to the hottest 6 days of summer. I don't know about the best, but it was hot, man. We had a good week.
Good. That's what you were saying.
We had a good week. I hope everybody enjoyed it and had fun. And
record week?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a good week.
That's good.
Right now, anyway, from what I've seen, looks like it's going to be a good week.
No problems or anything?
No problems.
That's good.
No problems.
But it's hard to do when you get that many people in one place 6 days in a row.
You got your typical things, where somebody might get blocked in by accident, and we take care of that, or somebody cuts line. You have a couple kids get mad and you have to do that. Or it's funny how kids lose their parents. but they do every night. We'll have some little kid come up and say, "I've lost my mom or dad," and their mom and dad gets lost. They can't stay with little Johnny. But we always find their mom and dads for them and reconnect and get everybody back home. And sometimes it happens twice. Listen,
I just put a leash on mine.
Let me tell you the best thing. There's one thing that goes on at the fair.
Yeah.
Okay? We find wallets. We find cell phones. We find keys. We find debit cards. We find credit cards. We find everything. This year we got something turned into us we've never had turned into us. Yeah. Midway turned into us a set of false teeth.
Did you find the owner?
They came and got them on Friday. They put them in a plastic bag, and we had them in a plastic bag. First time in the history of the Airscan Fair.
It must have been one heck of a ride.
They lost it on the ride.
I was going to say, it must have been one heck of a ride.
And the guy put them in a plastic bag, and they brought them to us. And we had some people come in. That lady said, "Thank God we found these. These are so expensive."
Yeah, it has to be to have teeth, man.
Said, "Thank God we found that y'all found them. We appreciate it so much." But like I said, we get everything turned into us.
I can see keys and cards and phones and all that.
First of all, I don't know how you lose your wallet. And I'm not going to say I don't know how you lose your phone, because I've misplaced mine for just a few minutes, but I don't know how you lay your phone down and just walk off and forget it.
Yeah.
That's why they make holders for these things, put on your side to carry. That's why I don't carry mine in my pocket, so that doesn't happen to me. But anyway, that's some stories from the fair this week, just a few stories from the fair. So listen, probably, and we don't know the final figures on this yet, I'll tell you, it's anywhere between 700 and 900 people. Senior Day.
Oh, yeah, it was big.
The biggest senior day maybe in the history of the fair. That's been around for 130-some years. But probably one of the biggest senior days that we've ever had. I know over 700 bottles of water, I believe, was given out. Over 600 meals that was prepared by an individual that was giving them away, that was given out. Mm-hmm. So we were told it could be in the upper, closer to the 900 mark. But every chair, every bleacher seat, every place we had, even standing outside the pavilion, people was outside the pavilion at Senior Day. We had a great Senior Day.
Anything different that it can't make?
Nothing.
Just
people came out.
That's great.
I don't know what the reason was. I don't even know, with David West being sick,
Yeah.
I don't know if his group came on and did their thing. I'm sure
that somebody
I'm
did.
sure David, did that. I'm sure he had that already prearranged if something happens to him or something. But yeah, one of the biggest Bear Stevens Senior Day, one of the biggest senior days that we've had in the history of the fair. So it's just unbelievable.
That's fantastic. It's good news. Take it if you can get it, buddy.
Yeah, well, yeah. Take it while it's good. Take it while it's good. Hey, you got this before we got Roger Houck, city manager of City Clinton, and City Clinton. Roger.
Wait a minute. Roger, have you ever been up here?
It has been probably 20 years.
I was going to
say. The last time I came was when we were doing the Clinton River Classic.
Okay.
Softball tournament back in the 90s and early 2000s. I think it came up a time or two.
I was trying to remember. I said if you'd been once, it had been a long time.
Wow.
I had to drag him up here to get him up here.
Because we're busy.
He is busy. We're going to talk about that here just a second. Roger, how long you been city manager?
I've been city manager 15 years next month.
Wow.
This just started my 39th year with the city in June.
My goodness. I know you were rec director prior. Where did you start with the city?
I actually did an intern. I was at UT and did an internship the summer of '87.
Okay.
Graduated on August 28th, I think it was, and which Bone Severs was city manager. Steve Queener was Parks and Rec director. They actually called me 2 days later on Sunday morning and asked if I wanted to come back to work and offered me a job. So I started on, I think it was August 30th. With the city, and I've been here ever since. Only place I've ever.
Did you start in Parks and Rec?
I started in Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Actually, for the first year, Bones actually cross-trained me in several of the departments.
Okay.
So I pulled a stint in Public Works and then Codes Enforcement, City Hall. So I did a little bit of everything the first year, but it's went by quick. It has flown by.
It's amazing. That's great. So, city manager for now 15 years. A little different than Parks and Recreation.
It is a little different. Parks and Rec, you get to get out in the field quite a bit. You can go to the parks and you're still working. Being city manager, it's pretty much been at City Hall probably 85-90% of the time. Now, with some of the projects that we've got going or had going this summer, I kind of shifted that a little bit and spent some time with some of these projects just so we could get them going and especially our pool project. It's ran way behind, but thank God we got it open last Friday.
Well, I knew David was coming, and I talked to him, and I thought I just could. I knew you'd been up here. I said I know he's been here. I just couldn't place when. But
let's kick it off.
I'm not going to hijack your.
No. You asked anything you want. I don't care. I don't care a bit.
I know that.
Let's start with the pool project. Let's start at the front end of the pool project and everything that happened that really wasn't the city of Clinton's fault. I mean, like COVID and stuff like that. And let's just walk through the pool project and thank God that it is open, because I'm tired of calling up here and saying, couple more weeks. And it seemed like there was just a little something that just kept pushing it a week. Go ahead, Raj.
Well, by far, it's probably been the toughest project that I've dealt with in those 38 years. I mean, just nothing seemed to have gone right with it. As David said from the beginning, it was actually 2020 when we applied for the grant, the Local Parks and Recreation Fund grant. We got the grant sometime in 2022. It was COVID, so everything slowed down on getting it awarded. We actually went under contract, I think it was late summer, August, September of 2023. So once we go under contract, you get a notice to proceed and you can bid the project out. So we bid it out, which takes, 4 to 6 weeks. Time you get the bid documents, you have them, everything. Well, come opening day for the bids, we had 0 bidders. Nobody bid on it.
Really?
So we're like, okay, well, and when we sat down with the architects and engineers and kind of what we felt happened, you had three parts to the project. You had the old concession and bathrooms that absolutely had nothing ADA in them. You had some site work had to be done. So you had a general contractor who really needed to do that part. Then you had the pool and splash pad, which you usually had different companies do them. So you had the general contractor didn't want to bid on it because they didn't want to be responsible for the pool and splash pad. And of course, your pool and splash pad people didn't want to do the general contractor work. So we rewrote the specs, rebid it out later that year.
Did you split it?
We split it in 3 projects.
Okay.
and we got 3 contractors once we did that. So by this time, it was late November into December. Well, our general contractor and the splash pad people, they started mobilizing, but we could get absolutely nothing out of the company. They were out of, I think, Bono or Greenback for the pool. Couldn't get them to do anything. Couldn't even get them to return our calls. So we went through about 6 weeks of that, then we fired them.
Okay.
Actually fired them, sent them a letter and said, we're done. To keep from having to rebid it, we went to the comptroller and asked him, said, hey, since we've already bid this, will you let us go to the next bidder? So we did that, was able to get kicked off on the project later that year. We anticipated it to be done June 1. Of course, I think 21 or 22 days of May, we had rain, so that put us behind. If it could go wrong, it went wrong. The splash pad got poured. I think it was in January, February. We noticed in March that it wasn't looking right. So we made him actually tear it up and pour a new splash pad from the beginning. We weren't going to accept it. Then we had some issues with it's a 0 entry pool, which I've noticed the mothers really like it because they can lay right there on the 0 entry and watch the kids this past weekend. But the contractor got the slope off just a little bit on the ADA part, so they had to rip that out 2 weeks ago and re-pour it.
So you built 2 pools and 2 splash pads.
They put you've got a pool, which this one's a 3,000 square foot, about 70,000 gallons of water. They put a 3-phase motor in it's been about 3 weeks ago now, 4 weeks ago. That's circulating pump motor.
Yeah.
After a week, get a phone call from the contractor and said, Roger, you better sit down, you're going to blow a gasket. I mean, this ain't going to be good. He said, I think lightning hit the motor last night. It's burned it up. So, and this was just 2 weeks ago. So they have to drive to Louisville, Kentucky to get a new motor. Did it over the weekend, got back, put it in. So it's just been all the little things like that we have dealt with. But thank God, Friday we got it open. The average attendance this weekend was 186 over the 3 days. And those were abbreviated days because usually we'll stay open 11 to 7. But we only stayed open 11 to 4 because of the fair. The fair gates opened at 5, so we had to be out of there. So hopefully it'll pick back up the rest of the summer. This week and next week, we're going to be open 11 to 7, Monday through Saturday, and 12 to 6 on Sunday. Once school starts back, usually we shut down because we lose lifeguards. This year, we're going to do it a little different. We're going to stay open. We'll open Friday afternoons at 5, stay open to 8. And then on Saturday, Sunday, Saturday we'll be open 11 to 7. Saturday 12 to 6. So we will stay open at least till Labor Day on the weekends.
That's great.
And we're charging $0. It's no admission to get in this year. Now that may change next year. We want to look at everything. Parties, we used to always do parties. Parties would get booked up for the entire season.
Oh yeah.
We didn't do those this year. We'll try to do those next year. We're back to a full concession. It's been about, I want to say 2013, 14. That's when attendance started dropping off, so we changed some things, let people, we did vending and let people bring their own food in. That seemed to work, but I like the idea of full concession back.
Sure.
So we've gone back to a full concession. I guarantee you can't get a cheaper meal in Clinton. And we're not there to make money on any of this. If we can break even, we've done good. So you can get a hamburger, a bag of chips, and a drink for $5.
I remember years and years ago, Dan Childs, y'all remember Dan?
Yeah.
He used to have a thing out there every year, and I can't remember what the organization was.
He did it for DARE.
For DARE.
DARE, yes.
We had a swim party
thing
for DARE and gave Rick Scarborough when he was a DARE. We had a big swim party up there and gave stuff away.
Yeah.
Also, you can get a hot dog and a bag of chips and a drink for $4. There's a gentleman that calls in the show regular. Mm-hmm. And he asked, hey, I understand you can go buy a hamburger at the pool now. He can do that. He can walk in, go to the concession stand, get him a hamburger, bag of chips, and a Coke for $5. He can walk in off the streets and do that. There's picnic tables to sit down there. If somebody wants to do that, feel free to walk in. But you can't beat that. You can't beat getting a hamburger and a bag of chips and a drink for $5.
You can't get a drink
You
for
can't even make the hot dog thing. I paid more than that at the fair for just a hot dog.
Roger, when like the motor, the three-phase motor gets hit by lightning, who does that? Was the contractor, city's insurance?
It was still on the contractor. So
do they eat it, or do they have insurance? Or?
I'm sure they had insurance, but it was still on them.
When you guys were dissatisfied with the way that the splash pad came out, that's all good.
That's all on them. They had to eat it and
mess up. They got to take care of it.
This being a grant project, I mean, it was real. I mean, the number of entities that had to come inspect it. I mean, we had not only our building inspector, we had the Anderson County Health Department, and then TDEC sends their own inspectors in because it's a TDEC grant.
Yeah.
And so they actually, we had the last inspection 4:00 last Thursday, wanting to open up the next morning. And
I was talking, my mom and dad came down for the weekend, and we were talking about how the pool was open for free and what a great thing that was. And she was talking about when I grew up in Campbell County, we had Cove Lake State Park, La Follette Recreation Center, which I was lifeguard for both of them. We shared back and forth a lot of the times. We had a bowling alley. We have, they have zero. And I said, well, you know what? That, as odd as it sounds, the city provides all of that. We've got a bowling alley in
We'll talk about the bowling alley here in just a second. We've got talk about the bowling alley.
But all that, the bowling alley was private owned, but the city had the pool and then the state had the pool. But all of that's closed now. They don't have a state pool, don't have a city pool, don't have bowling alley.
So just to see what we went through at the city, what Roger and his staff had to go through in the recreation department, they went through a lot.
Yeah.
It wasn't our fault on COVID. It's not our fault on the chain of not being able to get stuff in Clinton, and contractors. It's, this better than anybody. It's hard to get people to work nowadays.
Absolutely.
So we've got it pulled off. From what I'm hearing out here, I've not been there yet. I think we're having a grand opening August 1st.
We are. We're actually going to do a ribbon cut in the chambers. We'll put it on for us. Help us with it. 9 a.m. on the 1st.
Okay.
So it's not this Friday, next Friday.
Very good.
So I'll get to see it then. I could go up and see it today if I wanted to, but I'll be there on the 1st. I'm proud of city staff, and they've been through a lot because everybody that sits as a city councilman has asked Roger if he's answered one time. He's been asked 1 million times about the pool.
Roger, did we as a city get to do, like, I call it sweat equity, but sometimes they'll let you do in lieu of, I know we match, but did they let us do some of that?
We did at the end of the project, and I really wanted to do it anyway because our public works department and rec department too, but our public works do a super job when it comes to final grade work. So the last couple of weeks, we actually moved in probably a dozen between public works and recreation employees, and we did the final site work. When I say that everything went wrong with this, we decided to sod it because we knew we wanted to get it open. We measured, we ordered 30 pallets of sod. We got everything done. We were 6 pallets short. So Dwayne Wilkerson, Public Works Director, said, Roger, I'll just send a truck and trailer to McMinnville and pick up the sod. They left around 10:30, should have been back around 2:30. Well, they didn't get back till 7:30 that night. 2 different times they had flats on the trailer on the interstate.
Holy cow.
So it was just, and so, it just.
Everything that did.
Well, everything went wrong on the project, but the pool is open. And from what I understand, it's really nice. And I'm just, I'm proud of city staff and everybody. This was a team effort. This was a team effort.
And all people have to do is look around. Like I said, you can just go, 18 miles up the road. City of La Follette ran into very similar problems when they had leaks and they had all that, and they just determined better to fill it in than to fool with it. And municipalities all over the place have done that because in a lot of places they just don't see the demand for the pool. But I think it's good that y'all took time to do it for the city and for the kids. A lot of people need it.
They did. And the city of Greenville just did theirs about 4 years ago.
Okay.
They filled theirs in, just made a splash pad. And, of course, I don't get on social media, Facebook, any of that, but I got enough friends, especially our mayor that does, they'll screenshot me stuff. And, a little history why we changed it. Back when I first started here in the 80s and 90s, 350 people was probably an average daily attendance.
Yeah.
Well, the last few years we were open, and it's really sad, it dropped down to 60.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't being utilized. So that's why we had a series of meetings with the Rec Advisory Board. We had some citizens come, and we took some input from them, and we did change some things. We decided to go with more of the water park, smaller pool, larger splash pad, go back to a full concession, hopefully to draw more people in.
Sure.
And so far this weekend, it
up to 186 average. That's good. Better than 60.
So if we get 186, 200 every day, I think it's been successful.
It is. Well, congratulations on it. I know it's a long time coming. You 5-year project, 6-year project.
It's been a pain. That's all. I'll leave it at that. I won't leave what else I want to say, but I'll leave it at that. Now let's talk about Roger. And I didn't realize this. And I worked in the city for a long time. But Roger said the project we're doing on Market Street is the biggest project that the city's ever undertaken.
What is it about?
It's a combined project with CUB, first of all, but it's about a $9 million project.
About almost to $10 million.
I was going to say, I heard it might go like almost $11 million when you guys were, Rick and everybody was talking about it.
And we'll have some overruns because we're digging up streets that's not been dug up. We're replacing water and sewer lines. According to Greg Fay's been there since the 20s and 30s.
I told David this, Roger, but I didn't know this. As long as I've been here, I was going to buy one of those buildings on Market Street. In fact, I was going to buy what used to be the old drugstore right there on the corner. This has been 7 years ago, 8 years ago. And we were looking around. They were going to show me the heating and air and the boiler or whatever. You go out to the sidewalk and you pull the thing up. It's under the road. Mm-hmm. It's and there's there are pipes and all kinds of other infrastructure under the road.
And that's what they've already actually they're having we do a monthly construction meeting. It's going on right now at City Hall, but that's some of the things we've already ran into. The new water lines were supposed to go in the sidewalks. That way, if CUB does have a water leak, instead of having to dig up the road, they can just cut a section of concrete and replace it. Well, when they got on the left hand going up, where the water line was supposed to go, we didn't know that's where part of the storm system was. So that held us up for a few days to come up with a plan, either move the storm water, either move the water line over next to the foundation of the buildings, which we didn't want to do, or move the water line to the curb. So that's what we decided to do. So there's going to be some things. I didn't know this till we started the project, that Main Street is asphalt, but there's actually a concrete road. Originally, it was concrete, and it's still there.
Oh, wow.
Well, when they started digging on Market, we didn't know this. None of us did. It's concrete under Market, too, the original road bed.
Are they going to build on? Do they have to pull all of that out?
Most of it, not all the concrete, but some of it. All the asphalt comes up. We're re-asphalting everything. Of course, that'll be one of the last things of the project. But it's 2 grants we got with it, one on CUB's side. They've got one through TDEC, through the American Rescue Plan money, and I think it was around $1.82 million that they got. And I think their total side, their project's about 3.8.
Okay.
Our part's about 5.6, and we got a TDOT grant that's 80-20. So the city's only going to have about $1.2 million in the total project. The city, this part, CUB's going to have some on theirs. So it's well worth getting these grants, but they're a pain in the butt. This actually, phase 1 and 2, we got phase 1 in 2019. We were awarded phase 2 in 2020. Mm-hmm. So it's took 5-6 years actually to get the ground broke with all the red tape that you go through. TDEC can be fun working with them because you have a lot of red tape, but TDOT has much more red tape than TDEC.
Is the chamber, do they have any skin in it? Because I know they've got the hometown grants that they can do for, like, I guess it's kind of upgrading some of the buildings, painting some of the buildings, some of that. Are they doing, is that intertwined with what you're doing?
It kind of is. It's through the Main Street program, and them, they've got some of the facade grants.
Okay.
They also got a broadband grant that we're trying to incorporate in this that'll actually have Wi-Fi downtown.
Okay.
So you can play music and stuff. I know Harriman does that. So we're working some of those things. I think it was a $100,000 grant. So there's several grants involved in this. And we had a phase 3, which right now, phase 1 and 2 goes from Cullum Street all the way up Market, part of Main Street down to Cullum, kind of in front of Sam Franklin's, goes all the way to Broad, turns left at Broad, and goes all the way to the co-op. That's phase 1 and 2. Phase 3 will be from Broad in Main all the way to Clinch in Main. So eventually, sidewalks, walking trails will all be tied together downtown.
You know, you both might remember this, but almost all of that was part of that when back in Wimp's day, back in the mayor's 21st, what was it, mayor's 21st convention? Yeah, mayor's 21st century. Those walking trails and some of that other stuff that we're getting to do now. And I think even back then it was $6 or $8 million. You know what I mean? It was going to be outrageous to do.
How long is this project? About 18 months, something like that?
No.
500 and some odd work days. I remember that.
A couple extensions because they're under contract. I don't remember I think it's supposed to be over next July.
Next July.
But every time we pull them, if they pull off, that's on them. But we had them pull off like 3 days, I think, when we did the Antique Festival. So that adds 3 days to the end.
Yeah.
So it should be, if nothing goes, we should by the middle of next summer, we should be we should have things put back. And that's a big part of it, especially on Market.
Is Market going to be walking or driving? Or?
It'll still be driving,
okay.
But the lanes will be narrow. They'll be 11-foot lanes, but the sidewalks will be quite a bit wider.
Are we taking the parking off the sidewalks?
Part of it. We're losing about half of it.
Okay.
We're keeping some of it there. We're going to add some on Cullum Street. We're going to add some on Freddie Fagan.
Okay.
Freddie Fagan will become a one-way road from the Apple Blossom down, just because it's real narrow. And you make your sidewalks wider, your road's got to be smaller.
Sure.
So some of those things, a lot of streetscapes going in. We're looking at a town clock to put on the alleyway.
Cool.
So it'll have some neat features once we get it put back. The merchants, I've had numerous town hall meetings with them, and I don't think they really believed me when I told them it was going to look like a bomb went off downtown.
It looks like
a bomb went off. and some of them are struggling with grasping that, but we're working with them. We've encouraged them from day one, use your back doors, put some signage up, use your back doors. I went down on Market Street. Right now, for the next 3 weeks, I think it is, we've got Market Street closed from Monday morning to Friday afternoon.
I saw the sign, Market Street's open. We've got some signage out there encouraging people.
But they opened it back up, and I went down on Market Street Saturday, and it was full. It was a good crowd.
That's good.
Part of the sidewalks out in sections of it where they've already dug some of the sidewalk out.
Yeah.
A couple of sidewalks coming up and going to be redone. It's really going to be nice downtown when this project's all said and done. It's just we ask people to be patient. Yes, the roads are tore up. They will be fixed.
Well,
it'll be very nice when I think give everybody a chance here to get it done and see what the final project is, and then see all the businesses that we're hearing that possibly will come down there along with our antique people down there. I think it's what people in Clinton's been calling for quite some time.
And we've already seen some new business. We had hammocks open up.
Yeah.
We got the Happy Hostess, I think it is, a little restaurant, bakery.
Yeah.
We got the ice cream shop. We got the brewery that's been planned to open. I think they're hoping to open sometime next summer also. It'll be a brewery restaurant.
Sure.
So I think with some of those things mixed in with some of the antiques, I know I talked to one merchant back in the Antique Festival in May, and she told me her business was up 90% this year over last year. Now, that was in May. That's before we started tearing everything up.
Sure, but still.
But she said she was very pleased.
Well, I think, too, now that you've got some places to sit down, if you want to go shop and spend a few hours on Market Street, used to, if you got hungry, you had to leave Market Street, to do that. And now people be able to go and sit down. Yeah,
so,
sit down.
Yeah, it's starting to come together a little bit down. I think after this project's done and people see it and see, I think it's going to be really nice downtown. I think it's going to be a really nice project, but it's a super big project, and it is super tore up right now.
Yeah.
that's a polite way of saying it, but it's all going to get put back together, and just be patient. If you've lived in Clinton for any time, go around it. If you don't have to go down there to do business, go around it.
I've not heard that much grousing. Have you heard?
There's a few people's complaining because our roads are tore up downtown. Well, they're tore up for a reason. Just go down there and look, and you'll see that there's construction going on.
Yeah, I used to talk to, oh my goodness, George. He worked for the city for a long time, but he used to call about our infrastructure. Who am I talking about? What's his last name? George.
George.
I won't say Riggs, but I'm not talking about
George Riggs.
George Riggs, thank you. And George was talking. He said, he said, Ron, I can show you. We got water lines, and we got over 100 years old. So if folks are fussing, I mean, we're replacing stuff that's centuries old. I mean, a long time. That getting in there, they're going to have to replace it sometime.
Hang in there with us. Lights at 10 of the total. Now, you mentioned a while ago there, you said something about a bowling alley.
I did.
And do you know how many cities still have bowling alleys?
Not many. I think Sevierville does, but I'm not sure. Besides Sevierville, I'm not sure if anybody, at least in East Tennessee. I could be wrong, but
I didn't know of anybody.
Not many.
So we have a bowling alley, and we have some bowling leagues. People come and actually bowl in the bowling leagues. And we're remodeling for the first time in...
Well, since 1978. It's really the equipment and everything that's in there was put in 78.
And it was used when we bought it, wasn't it? Wasn't the equipment used, or
I don't know nothing about that.
Somebody told me that we bought it.
So we started it, I guess 2 weeks ago they started, or maybe even last week they started. We're pretty much replacing everything in the bowling alley except the bowling lanes, and they're in pretty good shape. We'll have them refinished, so we'll work down on. But the machines, the returns, the furniture, and actually we've had everything for the last couple of years been coming in overbid, high. But we've had 2 projects this spring that we bid out. The bowling alley being one, we had estimated about $450, and it came in at $290. So we were pleased with that. And then another one I know David will talk about, a traffic signal that we'll put in. It came in under budget.
And that's at the Mariner Point Trail.
Yes,
we'll talk about that here in just a minute.
I was going to.
Well, I'm just proud that we're doing the bowling alley and getting it done and getting it up to date, because those people that bowl in those leagues came to city council a few years ago and said, hey, if y'all would remodel this place down here and get us up, we can have more activities there, and that's what we want to offer our set. And there are a lot of seniors that do the bowling thing and like to go bowling, and I even like to bowl myself. But so I'm proud that we're able to do that, and I think there's some work down the road that maybe Roger's got on the horizon there to redo some things at the community center. It needs some love, and we'll try to get it some love and maybe do some things to the community center in the near future. But that's just one project. There's not many cities. First of all, there's not many cities that still have a swimming pool.
True.
There's not many cities that have a bowling alley.
True.
Period. They've never had one, and we do.
And I got my numbers mixed up. It's $370 on the bowling alley.
Okay.
So it's still under budget, but the traffic signal we'll talk about, it came in under budget too.
Is the Market Street project you're talking about going to mid-July or early August or what have you? Does that include what's going to happen coming down Main Street?
Yes. That's
okay.
The
That's all.
Total project should be July 2026.
And they're already tearing it up down through there. They've already come up Broad Street to the corner there, Broad and Main.
Yep.
They've already got the sidewalk out all the way up, and they're working. I'm sure there'll be another crew. The crews increased, last week or a week before?
Yeah, last week I went through, and they'd had 1 or 2 crews. I went through middle of last week, and they had 3 different crews in 3 different locations. Which, after dealing with a pool project, love seeing that with this project because we're getting it. And the contract originally called for us not to shut Market Street down, to try to leave it open. Well, I think the merchants actually came to me and said, Roger, would it make it go quicker if we let them shut it down during the week and open it back up on weekends? So the contractor was tickled with that. So they've been on us. That's why we're closing it early Friday, having it open by 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon. It still allows the merchants to have a good weekend.
Let me ask you this, especially with the merchants and the street being closed, back when they were redoing the Daugherty building, some of the folks that were that had questions about that were worried about parking back there in the city garage and then it hampering or hindering the rest of the merchants downtown. I've not seen that. I've drove by. I kind of pay attention to it when I drive by just to see. For one, I think they did a great job on the building and the elevator. It meshed in perfect with that building. But have you had any of that or seen any of that or anything?
It's funny you ask. This weekend we did have our first issue. I was actually leaving Food City, got a text message, a picture. Of course, those parking lots were built back when the Daugherty buildings were apartments.
Yeah.
So that's where people used them. I try not to mess with zoning, but the zoning of that building does not require that it has dedicated parking.
Gotcha.
Of course, they've always had public parking. So we told them from day one, yes, you have the right for your tenants to park their cars, trucks back there, but they can't store stuff. They can't bring in boats, trailers. Well, this weekend I get a text message. Sure enough, one of the tenants had parked a boat there. So I was leaving Food City, so I just drove up there, and as looking around, I noticed there was a double axle box trailer there too. that was on the lower end, so I knew it wasn't part of the construction. So I called Captain Bailey with the police department. He set a patrol up there, and they tagged them. I emailed the owner. He put me in touch with the management company, and actually me and Chief Campbell will meet with them Friday to make sure we get a line of communication for if we have these issues.
Sure.
So the boat was gone this morning. The trailer was still there. So probably if it ain't gone by in the morning, we'll probably help it get gone.
Well, that's good. That's a few problems so far.
Yeah, but besides that, no, there's not been any issues.
That's good. And
plus, we added another parking lot. We didn't add it just for downtown. We added it to help the schools out too, and to help us out. So there is some extra parking.
It helps get traffic off the road.
It helps. We've got a parking lot up there that we build on and just it's completing. It's a really nice parking lot that helps us out with. We have events downtown, overflow parking, stuff like that. So we have an extra parking lot. Now I will talk about pickleball courts in a minute because I really am. I've been a pretty big opponent on the pickleball courts. But the thing that there's a couple things that I'm proud of that's taken place with the city since I've been on city council. And this next one, I know we've tried forever and ever and ever to get a traffic signal at Mariners Point.
Yeah.
So this is how this went down.
All right.
I get a call from a lady out of Mariners Point and said, David, do you think you could help us get a traffic signal at Mariners Point? And I said, ma'am, probably not, but I'll ask Mr. Houck to check on it.
Mm-hmm.
We've always been told no. So I called Roger, and Roger said, David, there's some things there's a guy that might be able to help us a little bit more now. He's not employed there now or something. I don't remember the whole story. And us having the senior center down there, maybe it might just warrant that, having a traffic signal at Mariners Point. And then we had a pretty big accident down there that it threw cars in the Shell parking lot. And they were everywhere. So we decided, hey, let's go for this. And Roger went after it. And as usual, this time we got that traffic signal that's going to be put in, and it's out to be. Is it already? We've already bid it.
We approved it last month, and once again, it came in. We were looking at over $400,000. It's the one that came in at $299, which is cheap, which still blows my mind that a traffic signal
costs $299,000.
$299,000. Of course, same issues when we did the one at the Walmart and the one at Doe Run Boulevard. It took a supply chain issue. These cabinets that have the controllers. It took us over a year and a half once we bid it and approved it to actually get it installed. We're looking at they told us probably worst case about 8 months on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's been signed, ordered, but it's just get that equipment in. You'll probably see some preliminary work. We'll go ahead and get everything done. So as soon as that cabinet comes in, they'll be ready to hook it up. You'll see it's got it's going to be like we did up the interstate. It's going to have the mast arms, the big steel arms.
Yeah.
I think those just look better. Of course, they last a little longer.
Yeah.
So it'll go in and it'll have a controller on it. People up Doe Run sometimes don't understand why only 3 or 4 cars get out. Well, if there's only 5 cars on Doe Run, but the boulevard's backed up in both directions, all of our traffic signals, just about all of them, have radar on them that actually it can control the number of cars it lets in and out. So for the most part down there, it'll let traffic flow.
The heavier traffic.
West, yes, until somebody pulls up on Mariner Point Drive, somebody pulls up to the traffic signal, then eventually it'll give them the green light. So it's kind of an automated system.
It's going to be helpful, especially like when I'm coming out of the subdivision to turn left, like if I was going to go toward Oak Ridge. Definitely, it'll help a lot with that.
Well, I was just blown away that we were able to get it. We got it, and we didn't mess around. It was city council. We voted to authorize Roger to go ahead and let's do it, whatever the cost. Let's do it. We've approved it, and we're moving on, and we'll have a traffic signal down there. So, golly, how long's people ask for a traffic signal?
20 years.
20 years. I know
it took 20 years to get it, but we got it.
Yeah, at least 4, 5, 6 times that we've asked TDOT to do the study, and they denied us. And we started using. Well, we've always used Canon, but with all the projects got on, we're using them more. And that's what they had. One of their traffic engineers was a retired traffic engineer with TDOT.
Okay,
so
that helps.
So he helped on both traffic signal problems and for us to meet the warrants that we needed.
I was a few years ago. I was in your office. We were talking about the stuff across the river that I had done, and me and you were showing me a map, and we were talking about infrastructure up by the interstate, and you said you trying to get ahead of that, working with the state, because anticipating at that time they were talking about building some of these houses. Now they're actually building them, 178 or 200, however many's coming. But how are we coming with that, and what's going on up there?
We of course we built, or the contractor behind Buddy's Barbecue built a secondary road for part of it.
Okay.
So we did that. We would like to at some point extend that secondary road. There's probably, I think, 3 property owners we'd have to get with, and I don't even know the name of the road. It's the one behind Buddy's Barbecue.
I know which one
pizza place. We could extend it all the way over to Buffalo, which would help quite a bit. We've asked TDOT to keep us on their radar to help with some infrastructure up there. It's a state road, so we're kind of limited what we can do there. Of course, I think the 2 new traffic signals have helped some there. But you're right, it's that's where we're growing. We're working with the county right now. County mayor got a federal appropriation for a EOC to go in the county. We own property up there that go back to the 2006 master settlement that says we've got to put a fire station up there. It didn't give a timetable, so we've always said we're not going to do it till we need it.
Yeah.
Well, as you said, as these houses, we've had a developer interested in some apartments up there. So eventually, and it's going to be sooner than later, we're going to have that firehouse. So we've kind of partnered with Mayor Frank on this EOC to be an EOC. One side of it be the EOC, one side of it be our City of Clinton Fire Station.
EOC being what? Emergency
Operations Center.
That'd be that's Bryce Kidwell's.
Okay, that's what we were talking about, that building.
We were talking about that, yes.
Gotcha.
So that's a partnership we're doing. We own the land. We have the land there.
Gotcha.
So a lot of what we'll donate, we'll have to put some money in it, but most of it will be the federal appropriation. And I think county commissions maybe already appropriated some funds for it.
So think about everything we've said.
I was just getting ready to say you're juggling a lot.
So think about everything we've said here, okay? A lot of money and a lot of things.
Yeah.
Your tax rate's still the same. We've not raised your taxes not one nickel to do any of that stuff. So
now, I'm not saying a word about garbage cans.
Well, we're going to talk about it.
I think that's
we're going to talk about garbage. I asked Roger if we could talk about it. Talk about the garbage, what you really had to do in the end, just because the system hadn't been redone, because 98, we hadn't redone the system since 90. Talk about that and what we had to do to solve that problem a little bit.
Of course, you said, Ron, we were getting several complaints.
Tired of hearing about that.
I called a couple times.
I guess after the last round of complaints that we really had, and it's been about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
They've got all new management. Doug McGill, that had been with them, 50 years, 60 years, retired, and bless his heart, died a year later.
Oh, wow.
And Doug was in his late 70s. He had worked that long. So with some new management, they were struggling with some stuff. We went to the new garbage can pickup, and a lot of that started with COVID because they just couldn't get workers. This is all automated. They claim, I think they can get 1,000 cans a day with the automated system. We had looked at that several years ago because Knox County went to it, but they were going to charge us almost $500,000 for the cans. That was when we wanted to do it. Now, when they come to us, they said, we'll buy you cans. Yeah. I think it makes the streets look neater and everything to have that one can out there. But we met with them back in May, and pretty much some guys, this ain't working. We're getting complaint after complaint. I'm tired of getting complaints. They looked at their system. Their route schedule hadn't been changed in almost 30 years. So as you said, our town's grown and it's kind of shifted. I mean, I don't remember the exact days. I think Mondays, is that Mariner Point?
No, Wednesday's Mariner Point.
Wednesday was kind of light. Tuesday was real heavy. Thursday was heavy. So what they did was equaled everything out. Now I think on Wednesdays, because that's I live on Riverside, they get everything on that side of the boulevard, Mariner Point, Greenwood, Riverside, all of that up to the bridge. That's their Wednesday. So they tried to balance their map out on their route days. And to be honest, I think I've had one complaint, knock on wood, but
one
careful. Complaint in the last 4 weeks that since they've changed the route. So we're hoping that works better.
Yeah.
I told them we got to try something.
Well,
I've not had any complaints, and I was getting them on a daily basis. So I'm glad it's worked for me anyway.
Well, that's good.
That's good. It's a good thing. So my last subject. Well, there's plenty to talk about, but these are just some of the top ones that we've done. We put a few pickleball courts in. About a year ago, maybe something like that.
Year and a half ago.
And man, it just blowed up. So we're going to expand the pickleball courts. That'll take place. Is that going to take
August?
It's going to take place in August. Everything down there will become one big pickleball court. Well, pickleball court. That's all it's going to be is pickleball courts down there. And I'm proud of the recreation department for listening to the citizens. And all you got to do is go by there. And there's a need to expand it, but you want to expand on it a little bit and just talk about it a little bit?
Like I said, we did the one court, I guess. We had 3 tennis courts. We did the one court, and I think I'm hoping I get this right, one tennis court makes 4 pickleball.
Okay.
So we got 4 down there now. But as David said, due to the need, I went to the fair last Wednesday or Thursday night, came through about 9:30, and I bet there was 10 cars there, people playing pickleball at 9:30 at night.
Yeah.
So we're going to take the other 2 tennis courts and convert them into 8 more pickleball.
Okay.
So we'll have 12, and I know we've already had a couple of tournaments down there that brought in some big crowds, which we still got the 7 tennis courts at J.C. Park, so they'll remain there. But it's seen a lot of use in them. Back in the spring, we had girls softball going, playing on both fields, and that going. We had the splash pad open. The park was busy, which is what do you want it to be?
Yeah, it is.
You know how many kids we had participate in girls softball and baseball this year?
No, it's
up there.
Girls softball was up. I mean, I think baseball was up to the 350s numbers, and I think girls softball was up to around 270, 280. So the numbers picked up.
Wow.
Baseball started a fall league probably 6-7 years ago. Actually had a lady call me at City Hall back in June. And we've encouraged them. They just hadn't been able to do it. But she had talked to the president of the girls softball, and she wanted to do a fall girls softball league. So I hope she gets that organized. And which TWSAA looked at going to girls softball in the fall anyway. I wish they had it. The weather's better.
Yeah, better than sitting out in the heat.
So Roger's got a lot on his plate. Has a lot on his plate, and I'm gonna toot his whistle just a little bit here. We've over the last 3 years, he's been real aggressive on a pay plan for all city employees. He's done that. That's all got taken care of. I'm proud of that. We still pay all of our insurance for all of our city employees. We take care of them there. So there's some other things that they get down the line too. So I'm just proud overall. We got a pretty good fund balance. We're paying for these projects. We're not raising your taxes. So we're doing some things. And I know we're going to have to address some of the parks that's going to need some things done, but that's down the road just a little bit, and we'll get to them. We got a great school system that Roger works great with our school director, and our school director works great with Roger. That didn't take place a few years ago. There was a little rift, but that's all since been water under the bridge, and they work hand in hand. I mean, so anything the school needs, we get people over there to try to help them, and anything we need from the schools, they get people to help us. So I'm proud of that too. Just by being on the school board and then just transfer into city council, I'm proud of the way we all get along with each other and how professional it is and how we work together. We've got school resource officers in every school.
That's
every
great.
School, not just one, every school.
That's
so
great.
we get some money for that, and I'm proud of that. And Roger's made that a top priority, so we'll have it in there. And I know Kelly Johnson likes having those officers too. So there's just a lot of really good things going on in Clinton, and that's just we've touched on some of it.
I'll tell you this:
if you look, that's a little bit for everyone.
Yeah, everything we mentioned is open for anybody to use.
Yes, right. So it's that's a little bit for everyone. And we're trying to make Clinton better, and Roger's doing a really good job of that. And there's other things that, as the new projects come, maybe I'll get him back up here on this hot corner with me, and we'll see if we can't grill him a little bit more. But he's doing a good job. And the pool was a challenge, and I know it was a challenge because it's been a challenge for all the city council.
Sure.
We've been bombarded with questions about the pool.
I understand. I know I have
so
too.
So for 60 people to only use the pool, there was a lot more interest than 60 people.
Sure.
I'll say that. I mean, it was huge.
I'll tell you something else too. At both the city council and at Roger, I think y'all did a really good job with hiring Chief Campbell. I know we had other folks, Bailey and some others, that were highly qualified and could do it, and and so there wasn't a bad choice.
Well, and you're right. Jim was doing a super job. We actually took the opportunity. I did this in the fire department a few years ago when Chief Brummett retired and Chief
Jeff.
So we kind of did it with the police department, and after we had MTAS come in and do the interview. They actually brought chiefs in from 2 other cities. I wasn't involved. They make their recommendation to me. 3 fine candidates, but we took the opportunity. It wasn't because these 3 had applied. It was because of the job they do. We were able to promote Jim to chief, but then Jim had been assistant chief. God, 20 years we've had an assistant chief.
Yeah, a little bit longer.
We went back to the old days. Instead of having an assistant, we promoted Carl Bailey to captain.
Yeah.
And he's over patrol in the CID division. And then we promoted Brandon Floyd to captain, and he is over the records, dispatch, training, certification or accreditation. So we kind of split those duties up, and so far it's been seems to be working really well. I know David and I've talked.
Jim's a good guy. Jim Campbell's a really good guy, and he's going to really do a good job. He just got to learn the job.
Yeah.
And he's doing a fine job. I was very pleased with I'd have been pleased with any of them, but I was pleased with Jim because he's really a super.
Well, no news is always good news, and when we don't hear news, people, you know what I mean. So I just, I think it's good, and I've seen morale come back, start to grow down there. And I've talked to a number of the officers, and they're happy. And if they're happy, that makes for a happy department.
Roger, you got anything else you want to talk about?
One other thing, and I don't even think I've told council, we got a letter.
We're going to learn something.
Here we go. David. Better lean back.
Well, everybody, this being an appraisal year, everybody's been up in arms. I ran into Johnny Alley just the other day. And
here we go, Ron. Tie yourself in that seat over.
But we did get a new certified tax rate. I think it came in Wednesday or Thursday last week.
Okay.
Right now right now, because we got to take it before council, right now it's 0.867.
Yeah.
Our new tax rate is going to be 0.526.
Gotcha.
So it's going down about 34 cents. Now what that means is depending on how much your house got reappraised for. I did a couple of scenarios. My house went up about $150,000. Actually, with the new tax rate, I'm going to pay a little less. I'm going to pay like $15 less in taxes.
There you go.
I did the mayor's. His almost doubled.
Yeah.
He's going to pay more. So it really depends where you hit on that appraisal. I meant to get the number of what percentage that would break, that you'd either pay the same, less, or more. But the key thing is the city of Clinton cannot make any more money off our property tax with an appraisal year.
Sure.
So next Monday, we'll have a resolution to set our next tax or next certified rate, which will be 52 cents, 52.6. You can't. They won't even let you average it up.
You got to be right on it.
Right where they put it. So we'll put that. Some cities don't do it that way. Some cities may say, well, we'll leave ours at 86 cents.
Yeah.
That's a sneaky way of doing a tax increase.
I remember in times past when we were when it was reappraised and we were $1. And it dropped to 86. So there was a lot of conversation about, well, if we just left it at $1, we're not really raising it. But luckily, we didn't do that, so that's good.
And the only other thing, and this is something that Council Planning Commission has been working on. I won't get into the details because I don't know the details. We passed an ordinance last month, and we got the second reading this month. It's called our Gateway Overlay, and it is our 2 corridors coming into town, 25W and 61. That it's kind of like our historic downtown overlay, a little different zoning. So once this goes into effect, there's several key factors that could kick it in. That the zoning ordinance would be a little more strenuous. And your hopes is to your entrances into your town, kind of spruce them up a little bit. They'll have a little higher standards of new construction. If it's a renovation over 50%, like I said, I don't want to get into the details because I'll get them wrong. That will kick in some better
Just make your front door look nicer?
Yes, it will. It'd be things like your heat and air unit can't be in the front of the building. It'll have to be in the back.
That's good.
Be certain building materials that you'll be allowed to use. And I know some people want this done quicker than sooner, but a lot of people's got property rights too, and you can't violate them. So it's
kind of a fine line to walk on.
Yeah, it is. So as new people buy the buildings, or the people that own them need to renovate them, this new set of codes will kick in on them, and they'll have to bring them up to a little better standard.
That's great. I mean, just looking at it from the outside looking in, it all seems like good news.
It is, man. It's all good. It's all good news.
And that's,
You got anything else for Roger?
I don't think I do. I
appreciate you being on the corner with me, and man, you're free to go because you don't want to hang around for this next part. I told you it would be simple and sweet, and
you've kept your word.
I've kept my word, and we've tried. I wanted to touch on some of these projects and let it come out of Roger's mouth, what's going on, and just on Market Street, all I ask is people have patience and give us time to get it done.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BBB TV 12. Or listen live online at WYSHradio.com. And remember, if you have a